All right. Hey, everybody.
What's up?
How we all doing tonight? This is Laps Comic Fan here, and we have with us, as always, and will be forever on Mondays, Lunchbox Warren. Look at how fantastic they love us already, Warren.
Yes, it's
Look at
awesome.
already.
Great
So one of the things that we wanted to do was start doing a comic book show. We felt that it was time that we start doing, something like this. And we were trying to figure out what to do, whether we do game streams or comics. So we figured let's start with comics. So we're gonna be reviewing comics. That's our main interest between us, and we felt like, I think it's time. I think it's time we step back from some other endeavors and just go and start doing what we really want to do, which is doing comic books, man.
100%.
So one of the big events that's happening right now is DC KO. I think DC has done a pretty damn good job with the Absolute Universe. Maybe not so much with the regular universe, but the Absolute Universe I thought has been great. And there's some really good books in the regular universe, but not as many. I think Superman is getting good again.
Yeah.
I very much like Superman Unlimited. I don't know if you've been reading that at all. Superman Unlimited is fantastic. It's
That's what I got to add to the pull list. I heard Green Lantern's doing really well too.
Green Lantern is great.
Yeah.
Green Lantern's awesome, man. I like Aquaman. I know that there's rumblings that it might get canceled, but it's Jeremy Adams, the same guy that's doing Green Lantern, is doing Aquaman. And I love that dude's writing. I think it's fucking phenomenal. I think it's fantastic, and we should have more Jeremy Adams stuff. If Dan Mora can draw every other book, then Jeremy Adams should get more books.
Yes, exactly.
Because I was not happy whenever I had read that Matt Fraction was doing Batman. I was not happy with that, and Jorge Jimenez, whose art is unbelievably good. I love Jorge Jimenez's art. I don't really. Have you been following Matt Fraction's Batman?
No, I think I have the first issue. I also have the one with the futuristic Batman. I forgot what it was called. I think Batman Immortal.
Oh, Immortal Legend Batman. Yeah, I love that.
Legend.
I love Immortal Legend Batman. Yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't been following. I think I forgot the first issue of Matt Fraction's run. I'm not 100% sure though.
I mean, he ruined it right on the first issue. Like he this whole thing with like Croc and all this stuff, and then the doctor's talking to him about how Croc's been making advancements stuff, and he goes, "Nobody really changes ever," and I'm like, "That's literally your whole shtick. That's literally your whole shtick, dude. Is that people can change?"
Yeah, he has an entire history of helping out Croc, Harvey Dent. I mean, everybody.
Joker, everybody. That's the whole thing, is that they can rehabilitate him. And it's wild, man. It's a wild thing. So how's your overall feelings about like the Absolute books that you've read? Which books are you reading? And, what do you think?
I've read the main three, and I've also got into Flash and Martian Manhunter, but I haven't finished those yet. Mm-hmm. And so far, it's like a breath of fresh air. I really like any like these alternate kind of like the Ultimates. I really like that back with the John Hickman original Ultimates run. And I really like this stuff too. Plus, Scott Snyder is just one of the best writers in comic books right now. And I absolutely love reading his stuff. And he has a great style about him that you could see in the book that we're reviewing today. And what I also love too is I found out that there's Absolute Batman is bringing in new readers. Like readers' first experience with Batman is because of Absolute Batman, and that is just such a great thing to hear, that we're growing the audience and not shrinking it like it has been happening. So I'm very enthusiastic, and it'll be interesting to see what DC looks like after coming out of this massive event, and because it kind of setting up right now for this event's going to kind of set up for another reboot, almost like a 5200. So we'll see how this turns out when it gets.
Yeah, I think they're trying to move in on the Dark Side issue. I mean, that started the whole Absolute Universe. So I think they're trying to like weave their way in. I am just glad that they've been taking their time. That's the biggest key, that this Absolute Universe is taking its time, because let's be honest. Most comics, they're gonna blow their load real
Yeah.
quick, and everything's gonna be out in front. I mean, and Matt Fraction's Batman, we got fucking Alfred as Jarvis AI. It's ridiculous. It's so just unbelievably stupid, and I'm just like, oh god. And I want Batman to be good, obviously. Like I love Batman. You know, I want it to be great, and I want the regular universe to be good. But if it's not going to be up to my liking, which I will still support it because I support comics, I still buy it, I still read it. Just might not be to my liking right now, but you know, I'm still going to read the comics. So
Yeah.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna get into DC KO here, and we are going to talk about it and give our thoughts. And yeah, so let's get into this, man.
Boom.
Let's get into this. Chapter 1. Into the Ring. So I think, oh, did I go backwards? I think I might have. I want to let me go.
I
Come on
think
now.
well, that's the first page is the one you were just showing.
It is? I thought this one was.
No, the first page is so Superman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So yeah,
There we go, yeah.
We get this page, and this is like kind of into the fight. Superman has to make this realization that he has to actually take part of this. He actually has to take part in this massive tournament, which we're going to see he's in opposition of around, you know, at first. It's not like a thing that he wants to do because he's always got to solve the problem a different way. It's always there's always a better way, Warren. There's always a better way. So first chapter, Into the Ring. All right, so this is very interesting. This plays a massive part in foreshadowing and what's going to be going on in the comic. They're having like a game night. It's like Superman, Lois, and Bruce, I believe. Is that right? Is that who's there?
Yeah, it's Superman, Wonder Woman, and Bruce, and Lois comes in.
Lois comes in.
Bottom,
okay.
Yeah, the bottom panel there is when she first enters in.
You can go ahead. What do we get here?
Well, we get in beautiful Scott Snyder style, we get something that is going to parallel what's happening in the main story. And a lot of the stuff where they're talking about how Clark is handling the game, how Clark wants everyone to win. He doesn't really like winners or losers. And it's showing the parallel of what we'll see later in the story with more of Superman's confliction with what the plan is and what's going on, which is always, it's beautiful. Scott Snyder does this better than anybody. And it's a very, the KO seems to be very Superman focused, even though I believe it's Batman doing the narration, but it's very Superman focused, seems to be.
It has to be.
Yeah.
I think it has to be because Darkseid is the main big bad, you know, and I mean, I don't know how many people you could really put up against Darkseid. That they could work as a team, but if there's going to be a one-on-one confrontation, it's going to have to be Superman.
Yeah, and Darkseid really is a Superman villain, even though he's encompasses all the DC. They do have quite the history together, those two, in both animation and in comic books. So
yeah, he's a Justice League level threat, but a Superman villain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, excuse me.
No worries.
Sorry, where did I set my... Okay, here we go. By the way, this cover was really cool. I thought the plastic covering with where it shows all your heroes and then you can open it and see the whole thing. And I thought that was really neat. Did you get that copy?
No, I got the regular one without that plastic cover on it, but the plastic cover looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I got both of these. I don't know maybe if they were limited editions, but these were the original ones that dropped on at least they were. This was one of the last comics I bought at my comic book store because I just can't continue to go there every single week. It's almost like a chore sometimes, man. I see the same like 5 people there, and I was like, God damn it, dude! I was getting stuck in some sort of conversation that I actually like having, but I look down at the clock and I've been there for an hour.
Yeah, mine's about 25, 30 minutes away. And I don't get a chance to go out there very often. So every time I do, it's expensive. And I have a gigantic pull box filled with stuff.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. So they have this conversation, and then you kind of see out there like Darkseid just wrecking havoc. Don't really know what he's fighting. They're kind of like, I guess, a bunch of things. He's just destroying just destroying a building, and they're like, we got to get into action. And it's like, god damn it, dude. Darkseid has this like this penchant for just destruction, and especially after seeing him in the cartoons or the animated movies, I think that's where like a lot of fans who don't read comics, that they get to see him, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it does well whenever you have, because some people were like, okay, why is he already like destroying some stuff? What's going on? Because I thought Darkseid was supposed to be in the absolute universe, and it's like, that's you'll see what's going on. But they kind of show that Gotham is in distress, the Mascara's in distress, the Rock of Eternity, Oa. It's like all the main places that are in the DC universe are just getting,
and it's all happening at the same time.
It's all happening at the same time, which is weird because there's only one Darkseid. That's the crazy part. Like, that's one of the things I love about Darkseid, is that no matter how many universes there are, there's only one Highfather and one Darkseid.
Yeah.
So, and like most of the times we see Darkseid, it's actually just like how do I say, like it's not really him, because he's so powerful, like that he uses it's very rarely ever his actual self, and you can look that up. Most of the time you see him, it's I want to say proxy, but like I can't think of the word right now. But we get to see I need my glasses. God damn it. We get to see basically Superman seeing the end, pretty much like the end of everything.
Yeah.
He's like, Darkseid has finally become what he was meant to be, the end of everything. Bruce falls first, then Diana. Now as Clark rockets towards Darkseid at Mach 7, he hears a sound he's never heard. A horrible sound that stuns him so badly he barely feels the blast from Darkseid. The blast that ends him. And so you find out that they were having a vision, basically. Like a vision of when this is going to happen. So they go to the Watchtower, and there it says the Quantum Quorum, the World Force, the World Forger, the Trapper, aka Doomsday, Grodd, and Booster Gold. Okay, so a little bit of cleanup here. Let me grab these so people know. What happened what happened during the Justice League one-shot special, when Booster Gold was the one that went into the time rift, or the spatial rift, after Darkseid had attacked, and he had the Spectre's powers, and he had all of that stuff, and they were like, what the hell's going on? He's phasing in and out of time. You see that Darkseid is no longer burdened by having like an army or the anti-life equation. He wanted to know what the hell he was here for. Like, why am I here? And he takes the Spectre's powers. So it's like, imagine Darkseid with the Spectre's powers. It's like, Jesus Christ, do you need to be any more powerful? My goodness. So he ends up killing Calabec and throwing him there because he needed the blood of himself, because he cut off his arm and it wasn't enough. All this stuff. So he ends up doing all this crap, and they think they kill him. That's what the Justice League thinks happens. And in the middle of the Watchtower, there's this rift that's open, and they need someone with a bunch of chronal energy to go in there and see what's going on. Well, the only person who has enough chronal energy to go in there is Booster Gold, right? And that sets up the giant mystery of what happened, where are they, and what happened to Booster Gold. So when Booster Gold goes in there, he's got this little like device that he can keep in contact with them, not by like talking or anything. He just presses the button, he'll come back, because they don't want him to stay in there too long. Well, as soon as he goes in there, there's like a time shift. It's like, and all of a sudden they don't even remember Booster Gold going in there. It like resets to like 10 seconds, but they don't even remember Booster Gold at all. So when Booster gets to the absolute universe, he's like, okay, where are we? Skeets, he's talking to Skeets. Skeets isn't there. He looks around, and I think it's Metropolis or somewhere, and there's just a bunch of Omega symbols. And he's like, oh shit, I know where I'm at. And it's a callback to like DC's Metal, the event, Metal event. And so Booster's been gone that whole time. He has been gone that whole freaking time. And finally, because I kept asking forever, I'm like, where the hell's Booster Gold? Like, what's going on with that story? Well, in the Superman main book, Superman goes and rescues Booster. He ends up going into the Absolute Universe. He doesn't see like the other characters like Batman, Wonder Woman, or himself, the Absolute versions, but he does run into the Legion of Superheroes. Whenever he was a kid, those were the superheroes from the year 3000 that helped him out and all this stuff. And basically, it was a world shaped by Superman, and they were all good. Well, this universe, no, shaped by Darkseid, and they all work for Darkseid. So they were out to get him. And this book right here, the Justice League, it's the Omega Project Special right here, talks about what happens after they brought Booster Gold back, right? Booster Gold's telling them all about how Darkseid has enough energy to conquer everything. In that universe, like, he's basically God. There's nothing that you can do. So that kind of sets up what they're trying to do here. There's an impending doom, basically, is coming.
Yeah.
So did you read all those books, or were you any confused about any of that stuff that was going on?
I didn't read them, but I wasn't too confused on it. It's nice to know the backstory and the build up on it now, but this book does offer a pretty nice little launching pad, even if you haven't read the other stuff, because it's the story starts with, you get to see the end, and then we rewind, and now the heroes are trying to prevent the end, which is kind of a story deal that you see a lot in lots of different kinds of medium. So yeah, I was kind of going along with the ride, and I didn't realize the implications of a lot of the stuff, like with Booster Gold, but but it still does a good job of keeping you at least enough to keep you interested going on to the second one.
Yeah. So if I mess up anything, I'm sorry, guys. I either correct myself in the comments after the video is posted, or you can call me out and be like, hey, idiot, you fucked this up. So one of the things is the Trapper is from the Superman run that's going on right now. He's basically like the Time Trapper, and it's actually Doomsday. He's like a thin Doomsday, and he is trying to help, I think. But there's also some underlying tension there that's been going on.
Yeah.
So they're talking to like Grodd and all these people. So what's interesting about Grodd is after the Absolute Power, where Amanda Waller stole all the superheroes' powers, after that, and all the powers started going back to superheroes, some of the powers went to the wrong people. So like Martian Manhunter's powers went to Gorilla Grodd. So I thought it was pretty crazy.
Yeah. I didn't know about that part. That's interesting.
It might look like that on screen. But in the book, it doesn't. You can totally tell that's an R. But it might look like that on the phone or a small screen. But if it was the cock if eternity, it does look like if. I could say that.
It does, yeah.
It does look like if, but I could see the R. That is a bad font. They use their DCKO font, but that is kind of hilarious.
It is where the Doomsday gets his power from. Is the cock of eternity.
Yes, cock if eternity is where most people get their power from. So Gorilla Grodd ended up getting Martian Manhunter's superpowers, and he led this revolt, and it was done in the first big event during the All In. It was called We Are Yesterday. The Omega Dong, yes.
Yes.
He doesn't have the Omega sanction anymore. He uses Omega beams that come from the Omega Dong. So he's kind of trying to explain, like, in Boosters talking about the stuff. He's like, how we've watched you try 1,000 things 1,000 times, you always lose. From what we've seen, there's only one thing you can do. And he's like, what's that? And he's like, give up and start over. They're kind of like talking about, well, what does it mean to give up and start over? And they kind of come up with this plan because Superman's not having it. He's not having, so they come up with this plan. And the plan basically is that they need to gather enough energy, which is like what the dark side energy. What did they call it?
The was
Omega.
it the Omega energy or something along those
Yeah,
lines?
they need enough like Omega energy to challenge Darkseid's hold on the universe or something.
Yeah, because there's something in the middle of the Earth that
Mhm.
is like an Omega machine, and they need Booster, who's full of Omega energy, to let break them into it, and then they get explained. It's like, well, you know, you're going to face these competition, and the winner of this conflict will
Yeah.
essentially hold that power and can reshape reality. So the one Doomsday's plan was just to create a whole new timeline using
Yes.
the temporal people's powers, and then Booster and Batman were kind of, or Batman's kind of like, well, wait a minute, how about we just take the Omega energy for ourselves and use it? So the
Right.
so the whole thing about this is, instead of doing the alternate timeline, they're essentially going to try to steal Doomsday's Darkseid's power outlet,
Right.
essentially.
So Time Trapper says the World Forger will show you, to understand him, you must understand what he seeks. Our universe is full of mysterious energies, but since its inception, its two most primal are twin energies, Alpha and Omega. It's kind of basically like the same story of Highfather and Darkseid. It's almost like the same style of thing. There's Highfather's in the light, Darkseid's in the dark. So light energy, dark energy, kind of. That's the way that I took it. Even though it's not necessarily Omega energy is bad. It's just what Darkseid has, you know.
Yeah.
Alpha is the energy of creation, wild and explosive. Nearly all planets with life are sources of alpha energy, but not Apocalypse. At Apocalypse core is an infernal machine, a heart that runs on Omega energy, the energy of conquest, absorption, control. And when Darkseid sought it eons ago, it chose him as its champion and transformed him into the enemy you have fought so many times. From that moment on, he has sought to turn Earth, reality's greatest source of alpha energy, into a new apocalypse. So Earth has the greatest source of the alpha energy. And if Darkseid can turn that energy into Omega energy and conquer it, he can conquer anything. Like, he'll be unstoppable, even more than nigh unstoppable. So, yeah, it says, and so when he formed his new universe, he placed the heart of Apocalypse at its primordial Earth center. All Omega energy in that realm flows to him, making him absolute. So there you go, the absolute universe.
Yeah, he's become that universe's King Omega.
Yes.
And of course, Batman's all like, hold on, how about we just make one of us a King Omega? As if it's like going to the gas station to pick up candy or something.
Yeah, dude. He's like, let's go to Baskin Robbins. There's 31 energies. So, yeah. It was Orange asks a question. So are the different versions going to fight? I want to see regular Batman dumpster his beefcake counterpart. I don't know if they're going to fight, but there's definitely going to be a conflict at some point. I know that the end goal is for them to cross over.
Yeah, not in this issue, but it does happen in the spinoff. Well, I don't know about that happening, but there is other forms of Batman, other people fighting each other in other later on. Yeah,
I don't know if Batman's going to fight him in DC KO, and you'll see why. But I know there is supposed to be, after this, there's going to be a massive crossover event. So I'm wondering, since this is so popular, if they're going to keep these characters. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Now, I know Snyder has said that his absolute Batman, he's got plans for like 50, 60 some issues. So I don't think that I'm by the sounds of it, this is not going to end anything along those lines. But we'll have to see.
No. Yeah. This is not going to end it. No, they've already stated there's going to be, this is just a main world book.
Oh,
like,
okay.
This is a main, like, this is, even if other members of the Absolute Universe are in it. This isn't the main. This is not the main thing that they're going for. Snyder's trying to take his time with it. It will happen. I don't know if they'll fight. I'm sure they will at some point.
Yeah, I can see
Batman. Our Batman is definitely going to have to use that prep time to beat Absolute Batman, because Absolute Batman in a fist fight would destroy Bruce Wayne. That we know right now. So they're gonna have to. He's gonna have to. I think the Earth, was it Earth 1? Earth 1 Batman would win, but it would be interesting.
Yeah,
it would be an interesting fight. Obviously, our Bruce Wayne would win. Like, he would have to win. It wouldn't make sense any otherwise.
Because I think that like Wonder Woman is bigger than main Wonder. Absolute Wonder Woman is much bigger than mainstream Wonder Woman, and so is Batman.
Way bigger.
Superman, I think, is the only one that's bigger than the absolute version. Like, I think our main Superman is a bigger guy than Superman, but Wonder Woman though is
Wonder Woman's like 7 feet tall. Like,
yeah,
absolute Wonder Woman's a huge mammoth of a human being, and so's absolute Batman. I think he's like 6'9", 420 pounds.
And she looked like she's about 2 inches taller. When
she's definitely bigger than him. She's like 7 feet tall. No, they're definitely not in the same power class. But here's the only thing about Absolute Superman: we don't know where his powers end, or we don't know how powerful he can be. But I would like to think that our Superman, Big Blue here, if he wanted to, would wipe the floor with all of them, to be honest. Yeah. He would, if he wanted to, he would mop them in very quickly. So, I mean, it's interesting to think, but I think like that would have to be, in my opinion, like, I'm with Orange on this. Like, I would want our heroes to remain stronger. But if that happens, I want there to be better writers on the mainline books.
Well, yeah. And there'd be some very interesting conversations, because like Absolute Wonder Woman going to mainline would see a Wonder Woman who grew up with other Amazons as an Amazon. And that would be really kind of touching. With Absolute Batman, would he appreciate the fact that his mother is around even more? Because here's a Batman who lost both his parents, but he's had the love of his mother. So there'd be interesting deals between them, conversationally wise and character conflict wise.
Yeah, I think the conflict would most likely be between the Batman.
Yeah,
because I don't know. I don't know what Absolute Superman would think about another Superman. He would probably be more inclined to talk than Batman. Like, Absolute Batman is a fucking powder keg waiting to explode, where he doesn't have control like our Bruce does. He doesn't have that calm control. He's just like, he kicked a fucking child off a boat. He punted that child like in the face off the boat. And then when the woman went to come get it, like, at him, she just turned around and jumped off the boat. That was like one of my favorite scenes of anything in Absolute Batman. So that's where they come up with the thing where they're like, why don't we just take the energy? And they're like, that's a terrible idea. And he says, impossible. The heart is cosmically connected to Darkseid. It serves him only. Says to change that, you need to restart it entirely. Blast it with Omega energy you don't have. No, but Booster does. He says no, but Booster does. Watchtower readings show him brimming with it. From being trapped with Darkseid for years. And it's weird. They go and they find Booster Gold, right? And never did they think, we should probably like check him out, like scan him, something like, you know what I mean? We better like see what's going on with Booster here. Like, he's been gone for what, in his terms, like how we see him when he's finally rescued, he looks like an old man almost. He's beaten and withered, and he's been gone for what seems like years in Absolute time, as opposed to
he's definitely not his cocky self either. Like, he looks like he's seen some shit.
yeah Hey, Gray Poupée, how you doing, brother?
What's up, Gray?
And the Orange says, I suppose they could ask pull, but based on what I've seen, mainline Superman with Solo. Oh, for sure.
Agree. Oh, yeah.
I agree. The only trump card they would have is we just don't know what absolute Superman's power level is. We just have no idea.
Yeah.
Because his powers are like, he has powers, but they're also run through the whole system that he has with the suit. We just don't know how much of that is amplified, and we don't know what would happen if he was there with a massive yellow sun, or if that's even a thing.
It's Superman. Only weakness mainline Superman has is hesitation. Like, he might hesitate and absolutely might get a little head above on him, but overall, you're talking about a seasoned veteran fighter against someone who's still figuring out their powers. So mainline would whoop him.
Yeah, right now he would whoop his ass. I don't even think it should be close in that realm. Like, I just don't think it should be. Now they are doing a good job. Jason Aaron's doing a very good job, little by little, showing us Absolute Superman, what he can do. And Absolute Superman has gotten I love it. I think it first started out, I was kind of like, man, this is a little bit slow. This is, I kind of like but God, dude, once Ra's al Ghul got involved, it was freaking incredible, dude.
Oh yeah.
When there's a scene, I always talk about this, where Ra's is talking about an heir, right? And they show him with this baby. You think that he's talking about the baby. And he's like holding the baby, and he's like, oh man, sometimes where you make blah, blah, blah. And he's like, and it's flawed. And he just drops the baby off of his tower. And they show it just splat on the ground. And there's a guy on the ground. He's like, holy fuck, what the hell just happened? There's a baby on the ground. Why? Where did it come from?
Straight up Spartan him right off the side.
Yeah, dude. It was ridiculous. So that's where they kind of come up with that plan. And Batman's like, show us, World Forger. And he says, you must understand, the heart is a living thing, sentient, reborn. It would ultimately seek a champion, someone fueled by conquest and conquest only. You, all of your heroes, and then Gorilla Grodd's like, you're all soft as hell. So basically where they're coming out as is they need someone who is willing to take over. And none of these, possibly maybe Batman, would be that person. And that's why it's very interesting that this is a Superman book. Are they trying to make Superman something that he's not? Or will Superman's persistence in the way that he always is a rock of doing right no matter what in the face of all evil and all wrong, will that eventually end up being the way?
And that's where the parallels between the board game they're playing at the beginning and this stuff starts to take shape as the issue goes along, because you're like, they're showing you, it's like, Superman, there is winners and losers in this game, and you're going to have to do something that you're just not comfortable with if you want to win this game. And will he do that, or will he be able to rewrite the rules, if you will, and do what he normally does, which is always the right thing? So,
yeah. Do you want to take the next couple pages?
Sure. Here, okay. Yeah. So, on the so right here they got the World Bringer. This is where they find out here at the bottom. You can see where it's like flashes like I could take some measly parademons. And it's Grog's telling him it's not parademons. You're going to be fighting against each other. This is going to be kind of like a Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat competition. And you have to be fighting for overall to become this leader of the power. And
you're going to have to be willing to kill.
Yeah, pretty much willing to kill. And you're going to have to be willing to do anything it takes to win. Mm-hmm. And at the next page here, it's like, and if this person is to defeat Darkseid, they could bring it all back to the other side. Everything lost. And it's like, by theory, you should be able to reshape universe. So essentially, you win this, and you're given the power of a god, and you'll be able to reshape everything and put it back to normal. So that's essentially what they're doing here. And then that's when Superman's like, forget it, I'm not doing this, and kind of walks off. And then Doomsday is not buying it either. And then the three of them, the core, come together, and they essentially convince them, like, this is what we have to do, in this time period. It's like, But their plan is to take all of the villains that are powerful enough, I believe grade 6 or above, and to hide them away in the Phantom Zone, and
which is smart.
It is smart
because you're stacking the deck.
Yeah,
you're taking the wild cards out of there. Because what happens if, say, Joker wins,
or Lex Luthor, or any
Lex
of
Luthor?
them. Yeah.
Are they really going to reshape the universe the way you want it? And are they going to bring back the people who died?
Yeah.
So that's huge.
This also it reminds me a lot of like the World Tournament in a couple other things, and but yeah, it's showing more of the three of them, and when they convince Clark to do it. And what's even interesting though is like we're not even guaranteed that any of some of the heroes might do the right thing on this. I mean, Harley Quinn is involved in this. She's a wild card, even though she's kind of on the hero side, and it's interesting to see because really you only really trust these three to do the right thing. Well, maybe Flash along those lines, but it's
Flash,
the big three.
Yeah, maybe Green Lantern, but we've seen Hal give in to weakness before. So you're right. There's a reason why the Trinity is in this conversation. There is a reason. I definitely agree that they would probably put like Flash and Green Lantern in that realm, but I don't think that they would be banking on that.
Yeah. And then so they set up and they pretty much have their plan. And then it goes to essentially day one of the plan, which is they use modified T-spheres from Mr. Terrific in order to go around and secure the villains with modified T-spheres to send a list of the world's most dangerous criminals. Terrific hates what he's about to do, but he also knows that this is about as fair as they can be right now with this whole situation because they have 7 days to prepare for this whole tournament thing kicking off. And the plan is that once they go into there, the time people are going to slow down time on the outside of the sphere to try to buy them more time to get through this tournament by slowing down all of else time. So outside of the sphere, which is at the center of the earth, time will be slowed down to try to impede or to slow down Doom's or Darkseid's coming out.
And evacuate people and do whatever they can possibly do. But in that 7 days, they have to try to, visit with their families, all of that stuff. And it's interesting because they show like the spheres enter Arkham Tower. They go to Bel Rev. They go to Nanda Parbat. All the places that the villains would be. And the interesting one is the Nanda Parbat one because we were under the impression that when Lex Luthor escaped because he was good for a while, right? He didn't have his memory. And then whenever they showed him, it was like, oh shit, like he left. There was something that he did that I don't want to spoil. I'll talk about it at the next issue we do of DCKO because it'll tie in a little bit more. I don't want to say it here. Even though it's been out, it happened before this. I want to, there's a reason why I want to wait. So go ahead.
And then after this, it shows essentially them collecting the villains that you see.
And
Joker,
that was on the first day. Sorry. That was
Mr. Freeze, Killer Croc, grabbing up King Shark, Black Manta, and Lex Luthor.
Yes.
And then on the second day, they meet with the world leaders, and they're essentially telling them the plan. Superman gives more of an inspiring speech. And then they also show them using all of the powerful companies of the world. They're trying to create mega arcs that are fitted and adapted with Brainiac tech to try to contain and preserve everyone during all of this going on.
Right. And they get like Supercore, which was actually Lex Luthor's, that was like Lex Luthor's building for a while, and they turned it into Supercore for a while, and that's where the Superman story had been for a while. And there's a big thing with Mercy and what happened there and blah blah blah. And that's why he went to Mercy and said that they needed how many ever ships and blah 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 and all that. But so go ahead. Sorry.
Then so the building the arcs was on the third day. On the fourth day, they spend with their families, where we get to see a shot of Clark with Lois and with John and Kara walking through a city park. And then that's where we learn what paused Superman at the beginning of the book, what shook him to his core to where he even didn't practically feel the Omega beams. And it was the heartbeat of the planet sinking with Darkseid. And that's what shook him to his core, was essentially like the entire planet was in sync heartbeat wise with Darkseid's heartbeat.
That's so cool.
It is so cool.
It's so crazy, man. That's so crazy.
And it's more, of Scott Snyder's beautiful writing. Like he knew, I always knew that he knew Batman very well, but he's doing a very good job with Clark and Superman in this too. Like he's really going down to like putting Superman in a position where all of his core values are being tested, and he know the right thing to do and what he normally does are now are not intersecting anymore. They're both separate paths. And it's one of the things with Superman, I always thought you don't have to come up with a stronger villain for him. You need to test him in other ways. And his morality, his rules, his core is a really good way to do that, putting him out of his element to where the only option is for him to do something that he would never do beforehand in order to do the right thing. And we're starting to see that build up more and more in this.
Yeah, I couldn't have said that better, because it is. You're trying to get him out of his element. And that's why I was saying, would he kill? Are they trying to get Superman to do something different? Like, or is he going to try to do his Superman right in the face of evil no matter what? So
yeah,
it's very well done, and it's very well set up. Like you said, it's the setup for this was phenomenal, and especially with the syncing of Darkseid's heart with the Earth's heart, like with the Earth, was really cool way to say it too. As they're walking through the park, and it's like, oh shit, man, that's crazy. So on the fifth day, they prepare for the tournament. They go to war rooms and bunkers and sacred vaults to choose their gear, what to pick. Though there's no telling what challenges the tournament will bring. Some go on offense. He's like Justice Buster, power up. That's Bruce. Here, let me get to that page. Sorry.
It's just beautiful artwork all the way through this, by the way.
Oh, yes. Yes. Wonder Woman gets the God Killer armor. And this is the coolest one, in my opinion. Well, not the coolest, but it's really cool. Cyborg gets a father box, which is interesting.
Very interesting.
And then Clark chooses what feels right, and he says he puts on these knuckles, and he's like, it's a game we can all win. And when you find out what those knuckles are, it's pretty badass.
It is.
It's pretty badass. We'll tell you whenever he tells us. So you can go up the sixth day.
On the sixth day, it's pretty much time for them to launch their plan. They got the villains locked away, and they all set off to head to this core and have Booster allow them into it. We see they arrive. Booster uses his ability, and it looks like he's essentially strapped to the bottom of the Justice plane. And they're like, is it working? I can't tell. And then, boom, it's a black page with explaining with, I believe it's more of Bruce's dialogue or narration. It's just a blast enough to stop the heart for no more than a few hundred zeptoseconds.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Yeah. When the heart begins again, blank and new and terrible, the first thing it sees is them, the heroes rocking toward it. To welcome them, it gives them each a miraculous vision. Every hero suddenly sees themselves win. Blue Beetle, Detective Chimp, Aquaman, every single one of them feels what it would be like to become the Heart's champion, the soul god, to have the universe bend to them.
Detective Chimp.
Yeah, I didn't even know Detective Chimp was here.
That's just so funny, though, that's like, he had to throw in those characters because you haven't seen any of them. Like, Blue Beetle feels what it's like to win. Detective Chimp.
They see the good they could do, so much good, but as quickly as it appears, the vision vanishes and gives way to darkness, and each look around to find themselves awaiting at the arena gates. Just like that, the tournament is upon them. So essentially, they stop the heart. The heart starts back up. It's kind of like renewed, shows them a vision, and now we go to present day, where we start off where Clark came out of the gate rushing, and they're all like, "Hey, wait a minute, get back! You need to wait for all the combatants." And then that's when we start seeing all of the Batman in his armor. We got the God Killer armor. We see Plastic Man. Swamp Thing, and Billy Bastion before he turns into Shazam. But he doesn't get to turn into Shazam, and because they pretty much take him out. And then Superman goes to attack one of the giants, and essentially it's like, Batman's like, you got to get your head in the damn game, Clark. Calm down. Essentially, we got to play this to win it, kind of deal.
Yeah.
Clark's still not wanting to play along with what they're supposed to be.
No, he's holding back. He's like, he's trying to, where they gave the rules. They're like, those who cross the gates, you will move on. Those who don't, you're going to be eliminated. Yeah. So it's like a full sprint to where they need to go. And Clark is like, you fuckers, you killed Billy. Like, as they were like, a drop of this gauntlet. That's when it starts. And Billy's like, hey, Big Blue, I'm going to kick your ass. We're going to find out who will win, Superman or the Captain. And right here, where it's like, choom, it's just Billy under there. He's just done. He's like, you son of a bitch.
And then, okay, so Clark finally realized that, he has to see this as a game and what's going on. We see this guy right here. Who is that right there with is that the guy with the rocket pack just get annihilated?
Hold on, where?
Very bottom corner there where it's like beep, 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 beep. Tell Alana, is that Mr. Is that, who is that?
No, that's what's his name? That's the dude that got lost in space and uses the one.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think I know what you're talking about.
God damn it. Why can't I remember? Hold on. Go ahead. You can keep going.
And then we get this beautiful 2-page spread where it emulates the board game that they were playing earlier with, like, showing the different squares and moving around as they tell the story as they're fighting these parademons. Well, actually Omega demons, which are parademons on steroids. And they're trying to get to this gate. And we get to see a really cool scene with like a Plastic Man essentially into a big spiked ball. And then we get to see Harley Quinn. Red Hood is there. And they're all trying to rush to get to the gate, which I really love the artwork on this 2-page spread. It's really well. Oh, we see Jay Garrett's there too.
Yeah. Oh, it was Adam Strange. That's
Adam Strange. Okay.
I couldn't think of it because he kind of looks like, I knew it was him. I knew it was Adam Strange because of the Alana thing. But at first I was like, is that like the newer version of Starman? But it's Stargirl. There is no Starman right now. So yeah, that's Adam Strange.
Yeah. And then you want to switch over and show this. Yeah, look at it's just like the board game, which is beautifully shot.
Oh yeah, there. It's exactly like a board game. You even see like the spaces where the pan, like it's freaking incredibly done, dude.
Yeah, incredibly well done. And this continues on to the next one where we get to see Lobo's there. And then it shows that let's see here, like Superman, he's still trying to save everyone. He's fighting in order to make sure as many people get through the gate as possible. And then at the end of this, we get to see why we're not sure if mainline Batman is going to be fighting anybody, because mainline Batman gets skewered before they
he's telling Superman, he's like, dude, you got to focus. You got to keep your head in the game. And just a big giant skewer. So there's 2 reveals on this. Batman gets skewered and the villains have escaped and they're here.
Yeah.
And now, they brought back up. They got Starro.
I wonder if they escaped or if it was just, it doesn't matter wherever they are. They're going to be part of this because of their strength.
Oh no. You'll see. You'll see in this. Did you read issue 2?
Yes, I did. Well, I skimmed through it. I haven't got a full
Okay, yeah.
deep
Go,
read on it yet.
you need to
Okay.
read it. You'll see
All right.
whenever we get past like the tie-in stuff before that, you'll see. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's a huge thing with Lex Luthor and Superman.
And we
You'll
see that Batman was scared by the Joker because the bat flag falls down and it says bang in the first panel on the top there. And so the villains are here, and Bruce, he tells Batman or Superman, remember what I said. And then we see essentially what looks like everyone materializing into the next stage.
Hi, Emily. How you doing?
Hey, Emily.
Did your channel hit 1,000 yet? We're rooting for you.
Oh, is she getting close to 1,000?
Yeah, she was very close to 1,000. So, like, that's awesome.
Yeah, heck yeah. Anybody watching this, check out Emily Kruger 2844's channel and like and subscribe.
She does a bunch of draw streams, and they're really cool. So, and if you did hit 1,000, Emily, we have one thing and one thing for you. Will I ever hit 1,000? No. I don't do enough anything for people to care.
Yeah, I'm just hoping to break 100 one day. So we'll work on that.
You will. We'll continue to do this. This will get more refined. And before we go, what we're going to be doing probably with these reviews, they won't be like this anymore, where we're showing pages. We're actually going to do like a separate video, and we'll watch the video of the review, and then we'll talk about it. Kind of like if you've watched my Laps Comic Fan episodes where how I like tell the story of the book. That's kind of what we'll probably do. And then we'll go from there. I might do it for Night Fight, and then we'll go and see if that works better. We might do that. So, but go ahead. Sorry, Warren.
And you guys are going to get to see our incredible voice acting attempts. So,
hey, mine are awesome, dude.
Yours is good. I've been dying to try. I've actually been practicing Joker, so I've been dying to try this out.
Hey, this will be fun.
So then here we got, how did the villains escape? How did they get here? Clark has no time to figure it out and only takes moments to rush to the finish line. Giganta makes it through, Joker, Lex, and then there's something in Lex's smile that takes Clark and realize it's pity, a smile that says, go save a fucking cat in a tree. But this leave it to us Boy Scouts. And he thinks of game night, Bruce's word, his fist curl, and then no one wants what hit them, the Titans, Omega, demons, the heart itself. Batman's ears is a new sound and blasts through. It's like sun splitting open, but it's not. Okay, see, it's single heartbeat in his ears. It's his own as he crosses the finish line and takes the last spot all around the fire pit. Sing. So.
Yep. So that's what they kind of got here. We get like a page of like all the people that have crossed. Well, not all of them, but some of them here.
Yeah.
And then it goes to this, which is very interesting here.
Yes. I can tell you the answer now if you'd like. I am the heart of Apocalypse after all, and the one who crowned Darkseid long ago. So yes, I know who will join the ranks of the fallen. I know all the twists and turns that await them. So many, the surprises coming, like his 3 destroyers, and that's where we get to see.
They talk about the 3 destroyers, and who are they? Well, we know those legs.
Yes,
that's definitely Absolute Superman, Absolute Batman, and Absolute Wonder Woman.
And Absolute Batman has never skipped a leg day, apparently. So,
no. Nope. It says 3 destroyers, horsemen from a world where his rule is absolute, monsters. And these are just some of the horrors that await. But if you want to know the real truth, the final one, I'll tell you. It's that none of them win. Not Clark, not Diana, not Marie, or not Mary. What's that say? Not Mary or Eel?
Yeah.
None, he says, because what they don't know is that there's one last champion among them. And he says, the king himself. That's right. Darkseid, having taken on the form of one of their own. So no friend the game isn't beginning. It's already over.
And then there we have it. Issue 1 of DC's KO.
Mm-hmm. So what did you think overall, man?
Overall, it's a great setup. I'm not usually a fan of the big events, but Scott Snyder always does a good job, and it was a good read. He uses.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's setting up to be a real fun storyline. You know, it'll be interesting to see what happens when this is done. Like what kind of effects it's going to have on the DC. And part of me thinks that with how Absolute Universe is doing great, this could be a good reason to try to do a nice little reset on the main line in order to try to bring all the books up and start some new storylines along those lines.
And what's very cool, from Batman's perspective, we get to find out what happened to him as soon as he got basically pruned from that universe.
Yeah.
And that's the next book we're going to review is DC Night Fight #1. And let me tell you, it's a great book. It's fucking awesome. Did you read it?
Yes, I have read that one. That one is really good.
Dude.
I haven't read that one yet.
Yeah, it's really good, man. And we'll talk more about that. So overall, I very much like this event. I think that, like you said, I love that. I love that they showed the Absolute people, because people have been waiting for this. And like I said, they've been taking their time. Scott Snyder's been taking his time. I'm almost wondering if they even make it to DC KO, or if it's at the last issue and that's how they meet.
Yeah. That would be interesting, because it's how, like, where are they going to be start? Because they haven't made an appearance yet, have they? I mean, they in any of the future stuff. I mean, I've got some of the books, but I haven't got to read everything yet. I don't think they have made their appearance yet. So it'd be interesting if they're like the mini bosses before the end boss.
Right. And we haven't seen in any of the mainline Absolute books that they are on Darkseid's side.
Yeah.
Unless he can control them. You know, maybe that's the thing. Maybe he can control them and they don't know, you know.
Yeah.
Because right now, you know, Bruce just beat down Bane and then he's going up against the Joker.
And are we going to see, like, this is not affecting their titles, though. Like, you'll see in the main line, the Flash book will reflect what's going on along those lines, but none of the Absolutes will show any kind of signs of this so far. So from what I've read up to the point where I've got to, so it seems like, are these, you know, it's they're not going to, those ones won't be that connected.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, let's see. Orange doesn't like new comic books. He doesn't like them. 2 out of 10 for 2 universes of useless idiots. I don't know about that, dude. I mean, they've been setting this up for quite some time. I think it would suck if he just kind of like figured everything out in, like, you know, 10 minutes. Even if he figures it out, like, doesn't mean that he can get it done. You know, the way that maybe old Batman from like 2000, but the way they've been writing Batman for how long now? It's not. Well, it just sucks.
Yeah,
he just sucks. But hey, at least you gave. For animated Batman, yeah. I mean, yeah, maybe.
Well, it is
what? Night Fight you in the ass? Wow, that's MSK levels of
haterade.
I'm not. You're fine. I just like to give you shit.
No, I think some of the big problems that the two main have are usually with these gigantic events right after the other, which at the end of them really don't have any kind of result. But this one so far is starting off really cool. It's a really fun book, and it's interesting enough to keep going and following. It's not rewriting canon like with Marvel, you'll see like, okay, we find out that Thor is this, and then we're going to rewrite the canon. We're going to say, no, this is this. This is more along the lines of something that's happening right now, and it plays into what they've been setting up, kind of without us knowing up until this point. But it sounds like with the other books, with what Amanda Waller did, the Absolute stories. So this is really playing in quite well as more of a culmination of storylines coming together than just something kind of randomly thrown in there. So
yeah, and I think for me, I felt the same, like kind of felt the same way whenever Batman got eliminated at first. I was like, what the fuck? Like, are they taking him out because like he would figure this out? Like, there's actually a reason. And when you get to this, I actually like the night fight a lot, because it does go into something that I've wanted to see. It definitely has a fan service to it, but it's written very well. It is. Yeah. And Dan Mora does the art, so obviously that's awesome. And
I don't know how he does it.
I don't know how he does it either, dude. Like, dude's drawing like 90 books a month.
Like, do you sleep? Like, I get writers who could do that, like 8 books, balance that, but on artist, I don't. He must not.
I don't know.
Sleep.
Yeah, I don't. Dude, he does like Superman, Justice League, Transformers. There's so many books he does a month. I'm like, dude, you're a fucking machine.
And no drop in quality.
No,
like they all look great. So he does have streamlined his process.
And he does like covers and half the interiors for Immortal Legend Batman.
Yeah,
which is just crazy. So yeah, I give this a 7 out of 10. I very much enjoy it. What do you give it, Warren?
Yeah, it's 7, 8 out of 10. It's a good solid story, good kickoff. I really like the fact that it's Superman focused, and I really like what Scott Snyder's doing with Superman. And so it'll be interesting to see him, because he's really testing his character. And that's one of the things that a lot of people kind of write off Superman too quickly. And there's a lot of great stories you could do with a godlike character who has almost unrealistic moral structure. And it's like, you could play around a lot with that, because, he's essentially immortal, and he's trying to tell the rest of us to be good. And it's like, well, you are, it's like, you can say that because technically nothing ever hurts you too much. But yeah, this is playing around with really his weak spots and what decisions he's going to have to make during this. And issue 2, what happens to him when we get to there is very interesting.
Yeah.
With what happens by the end of that issue. So
his weapon, his knucks are mini suns.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool. That's fucking awesome. So we're gonna get into a segment that we're gonna call like, what did you get? And we're gonna talk about what we picked up from like the last couple weeks or last week in comics, and then we'll end the show and we'll go into our ending and talk about what we're gonna be doing coming up. So Warren, what did you get?
Well, my pull box was huge because I haven't been there for a while, so I picked up the latest 2 Ultimate Wolverines.
Nice.
I've got the latest 2 Ultimate Spider-Mans, and it's coming up to where there's only one more issue
left. Only one more issue, man.
Yeah, before they start their big crossover event. I picked up the 2 newest Transformers, Dan Mora and Kirkman, this is just amazing. I've been following the Witchblade, the new relaunch of it, and I also picked up the Darkness #1, which has Ed Benes doing the interiors, another artist I absolutely love.
Nice.
And then another fun book that not enough people are talking about, which is Spider-Man and Wolverine.
Dude, Spider-Man and Wolverine has been fucking phenomenal.
Oh, the artwork too. Kerry Andrews is just knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, I got that as well. I picked up Spider-Man Wolverine #8 as well. So I love that. I picked up a lot of books as usual. I got a bunch of the DC KO tie-ins. I got the Superman. This is a good issue. This is like what happens with him and Lex, which is a really good issue. Obviously,
I didn't picked up the tie-ins. I got like the KOs, like the directs ones, like the #2, Superman versus Captain Atom.
Oh, you got that cover. That's a good cover.
Wonder Woman versus Lobo, which this is a Wonder Woman is such a badass. And then I've got the first 2 issues of the Night Fight also.
Yeah. So I got Justice League number 13. That is, they're doing a KO tie-in, but it's also the Terrific 10, which is pretty interesting. My favorite book at the moment, I got Rook Exodus number 9.
Oh, nice.
That's been nothing but phenomenal. I also picked up Night Fight number 2. I went and got this. This is from a couple weeks ago, but I didn't show up. I got the Batman Deadpool. Little bit disappointed with Grant Morrison's take.
Yeah.
But whatever. It's Grant Morrison. What are you going to do? Now,
I really enjoyed the Wonder Woman story in that one.
Yeah. I like the Wonder Woman story from the last one, too. I thought that was interesting. I got this, and I haven't read it yet, but I've heard some pretty cool things. But I got the Infernal Hulk 1 and 2. Okay. I wanted some Hulk, so I decided to get that. Another book that I've been reading, the Marvel Knights Punisher number 3.
Okay, cool.
Which has been all right. I kind of like the Black Label Punisher, or the whatever they call their thing.
Yeah.
I got, this is Aquaman number 12, but this is Aquaman versus Hawkman. Another tie-in. Got the newest issue of Geiger, because I love Geiger. I love the Jeff Johns team right now, dude. Is unreal, man. It's like he took like everybody good except like Hickman, Dan Mora, and Scott Snyder, and a couple other guys. He's got like everybody. It's like Jeff Johns, Jason Fabok, Jeff Johns, Ivan Reyes, Jeff Johns, Gary Frank, and they got Brad Anderson doing colors. It's like, what? Picked up the newest Ultimate Wolverine. And Cappuccio, man, his art is so incredible in that book, because like, if you ever seen Cappuccio's art from his run on Moon Knight, he can do the clean, like Dan Mora style art. Like, he's done it, and this is so gritty. It's so gritty, man. It's awesome. I also picked up Ultimate Spider-Man number 23, and then I got Transformers number 27. That's the cover that I got.
Soundwave.
Yeah. And then a book that I just buy just because I have been reading it forever is Amazing Spider-Man number 17. And then I bought these because someone told me to try them out. And I really like David Finch's art. I've always been a fan of Finch. But I got Skinbreaker 1 through 3.
Yeah, I almost picked those up. Those ones look good because Finch's art's always been amazing.
Yeah. So here's the Superman Captain Atom cover that I got. I got this one.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, it's okay. This one of Wonder Woman Lobo I got. The reason why I got it is it reminded me so much of Sam Keith's art. So I picked it up. I got that one. And then I got hold on a second. I picked up Absolute Batman number 15.
How do you feel about the Joker turning into some kind of like Cthulhu monster looking thing? Like,
I don't really care.
Yeah,
it's fine with me. I mean, they set it up in the other books, so I mean, like, I didn't have a problem. I mean, it's stupid, it's dumb, but it's different. You know, like, not everything is going to be 100% incredible. You know, but this book I loved. I freaking loved this book, and I cannot wait for the next one come out. This is a Batman Green Arrow The Question crossover called Arcadia. This was phenomenal. The art was great. The story was awesome. I loved it. And then I got the Green Lantern number 29, which I have all the issues for this. So that's what I picked up in the last week. And last couple weeks I picked up a bunch of other stuff that I forgot to get. And I have to like put these all back in order now. So, you know.
Yeah, I picked up a couple more DC compacts. I think I have all the ones that are out right now, as well as I picked up the Nightfall Volume 1 Omnibus, which I'm excited to read.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. I ended up having to go out and get a new mouse. I needed a mouse for down here, so I picked up a Razer mouse, and they sent me a keyboard. It was like a drawing, so I got a Razer keyboard. So like, that's pretty cool, you know. And I brought my mini arcade down here. This thing's awesome.
Oh, sweet. Is it Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yeah, my buddy made it.
Oh, that's cool.
He made it. He put like this really high-end mini PC in there. I can emulate up to PS4. Anything higher than that, like we've tried doing other stuff, it just doesn't, the computer's not strong enough, but it does play everything to PS3 perfectly. There's some games on PS4 it has a hard time with, but I already have a PS4, so I don't really care. But yeah, it's a full like working arcade machine. Like it has USB and like in the front here for my controllers and keyboard and stuff. But if I want to, like if I play the main games, this is a touch screen and these work. Like this whole joystick, everything works.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then on the back, you know, it's got a whole bunch of stuff on there. It's got kill switch buttons. Here's the fan for the PC. You can take the back out. And he carved this all by hand and did all the stuff.
Beautiful.
He did like the polyurethane for Sonic, the blue on here. It's really awesome, dude. He did a very, very good job on this. And what's really cool is the way that it's set up. Like when you turn it on, I had him do Linux, right? I didn't want him to do Windows because Windows just takes up too much resources whenever you're, you know, doing nothing. So Linux, it goes right to all the emulators, and it's like an actual screen where you could just press like left or right, and it goes to the different emulators. Then you pick the emulator, it goes into the games. And what's cool is we set it up to where if you don't want to use a keyboard to get into the settings and everything, you can actually use a controller. And just go right into the settings, switch emulators. If a game doesn't work with this emulator, each system has like 2 or 3 emulators to it. So like,
and can you hook it up to a bigger screen if you wanted?
Oh yeah, I have it hooked up to a monitor over here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it works. It works good. And I went out and bought controllers for each system. Like if I wanted to play the old Nintendo, I got an NES USB controller like this that works perfectly. I got a NES controller. I got a Super Nintendo controller, which I think is pretty cool, you know? Like, yeah. I'm like, so in the mail to Wednesday, I should be getting my N64 and my GameCube ones. And then I got I got a Genesis one coming. And then I had to go and get the real Wiimotes, but I also had to get the sensor bar. So once I get the sensor bar, I'll be able to play like Wii games with the Wiimotes and stuff because it does have Bluetooth capability. So yeah, my Wii controller will work with it. Yeah, it does. Is it the RetroArch front end for Linux? No. It is Batocera, and we have it partitioned as each individual emulator itself. It's got a pretty big external drive. I think it's like a 12 terabyte drive. My PS5 controllers worked perfectly, and so did my my Razer Wolverine automatically recognized. So I did that, and my PS4 controllers worked. I haven't tried my PS3 controllers, so I might try that. But yeah, everything worked great for it. It was fine. I've only had one problem with one game, and that was on the PS4. I was trying to play God of War, the PS4 version, and it played, but then like it would like slow down on me, and then I would have to wait a second, and it had a problem loading the fixtures. So I don't know if it was because of the emulator or not, because like other games worked perfectly. Like other games worked perfectly fine. and didn't have an issue with it like I did The Last of Us and stuff. Well, here's the thing. The PS4 emulator is actually his own emulator. He created it. It's not it's not a, PCSX3 or RSPC3 or whatever that's called. It's the company he works for created the BIOS for it and everything. Like, so I don't know if I'm one of the few people that has it. I don't know, but he used it. There's a bunch of games that he said don't work, but the games that I have on here, except for God of War, have worked perfectly fine. So, but like I said, I have a PS4, so it's not, I don't really need to do anything. And the PS3 games, I think I only have like 100 of them. And the ones that I've played worked fine. So, but honestly, I'm using it for PS2 and below, like systems that I don't have anymore or games that I don't have anymore. That's the main thing for me. So, but yeah, it's fun. It was cool, man. So I can't complain. Can't complain about that.
Hell no, that's an awesome gift.
Yeah. So, but all right, guys. So moving forward, we're going to try a few things out, but we will definitely be doing comic reviews on Monday. And I don't know, Warren, if we want to set a specific time that's probably good for the algorithm. If we set a specific time, I think it should be 7 p.m. Eastern or 8 p.m. Eastern, depending on if you have to work or not.
Yeah, I usually have Mondays off. And so 8 p.m. would be almost guaranteed I can make it.
Okay.
7 p.m. would be a little bit if I did happen to work on a Monday, but most of the time I usually have Mondays off, or I can just tell them I need to be home by this time because I got something going on. So
well, then
I have flexibility.
Let's do 8 p.m. We'll set that as the time. 8 p.m. Eastern on Mondays will be, and we're calling this Off the Shelf. That's what we're going to be calling it. So, yeah.
And as we go, we're going to get some more production value. We're going to be doing some pre-recorded videos, and it's going to be a lot of stuff for you guys as we kind of get our feet wet and feel what's comfortable for us and play around with this more. I
think the main thing would be the production for the comic review itself, having a video that's already done that way. Because I told Warren, I know it looks like it's bright down here, but it's just that I have a low-level HDR camera. I can barely see anything. Like, it is so fucking dark down here, guys. It looks bright, but I have like I was dumbass and I didn't buy regular lighting. I just didn't know, and I'm dead serious. I bought movie rig lighting. Like, it's actually like a rig light, and I had to put it goes like from 0 to 100, and then you can change the lumens and all that stuff. So I have to put it on 10 and 0.
Yeah.
Anything else, it's like a spotlight. So like it feels like it's light down here. It is not. It is not. I can barely see anything. That's why I had to put my glasses on just to see the freaking comic book. Like, to you, that looks like you can see it, but when it's down here, I can barely see it. So,
yeah, mine's the same way. I have a light that I have to turn off, and I have a couple lamps around here, and even that lamp out there acts like it's a spotlight, but it's barely lighting the room. So yeah, I have the same problem with my camera too. It just everything gets like bright.
Yeah, and I'm down in my basement, so that's where I put this little area. I'm hopefully going to be moving this once the construction is done, and I'll have that all set up so it'll look all cool and stuff, but that won't be for like another year or so. But it is what it is, man. But yeah, we'll figure out how we're gonna do this. But we want people also, whenever we're done reviewing like where we want to go with certain comics, we would love to hear suggestions, or if there's anything old that you guys would like us to do, that'll be cool. And one of the segments we were gonna do after What Do You Got, I was thinking we should start watching the MCU in order. Like, because if we do that, right, and we watch all the movies, if we wait a few weeks and we did it once a week, we could watch all the movies by the time Doomsday comes.
Yeah.
So that would be kind of fun.
Yeah, we'll get ourselves all set up for it. And some of the stuff after Endgame we'll be kind of happy for Doomsday to come along, hopefully. Release order, Orange, not in a chronological.
It would be release order. I mean, we could do chronological order, but we'll talk to you guys about it. That's what we'll do. We'll talk to you guys about it because we still have like 4 or 5 weeks until because it would be 52 weeks, and so there's 35 films, so we still have plenty of time to figure out what we want to do. So we'll talk to you guys about it and see what you guys think. If you guys think it's better to walk chronologically, that would be fine. But we thought it would be fun to do something like that and lead up to Doomsday. Because I'm sure we're going to talk about movies whenever they drop. You know, we'll probably give our thoughts and stuff about it. I'm almost positive we will.
Oh yeah, I mean, very soon we're gonna have some trailers to talk about too when it comes
Yeah.
to Doomsday. And there's Spider-Man coming up, which is supposed to help set up Doomsday. And yeah, so there's a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. I just put a link to my Global Comics app. I just put a 30-page comic book that I did for a submission on there to read for free, as well as issue 4 of my series is going to be coming out on my birthday. So if anyone wants to check that out,
Amazing.
hit the link.
Everybody go check out Warrant's Global Comics, Sig and Joe. We are going to review that. We are definitely going to review that, and it's going to be fun. Because I need to read some of the other issues. I wanted to wait for the whole graphic novel, but I do have notes on 2 of the issues that I read.
Okay, cool.
So whenever we do the full thing, I want Warren to be surprised, but I also want to read the whole thing. I'm very excited about reading it because it's one thing when your friend does something, but it's another thing when it's actually pretty cool. And I actually dug it. I was like, this is very different. And I got excited because it's someone that I knew, you know. And another person that we'll probably have on this show is my buddy Chris Stevens. After his production company launches, he's going to be launching a publishing company and a production company. So
awesome.
Yeah, he's worked with a lot of comic book people like Scott Collins. He's worked with a bunch of different artists. His let me see if I could find. He's done a bunch of different comic books. His newest one, I can't remember what it's called. I'll have that information next week. But he does really cool stuff. His first one that he did, or not first one, but the one that I know, the one that I met him from was it was called Once Upon a Time Machine. And it was like it was basically like it was like fairy tales crossing over with other fairy tales, but it was on a timeline as opposed to different writers and stuff like that. It was really cool. It was very well done. And this is what it looked like. See, Andrew Carr, Chris Stevens. Too. Yeah, it's really cool. So you got all these different things, and you got the storyteller here, and it's Once Upon a Time Machine. But there's 2 of them that he did, and he actually sent me. I met him on a train, and he saw my shirt and was like, "Hey, and I was like, made a comment." And basically how it happened was we kept like trying to talk to each other, but didn't know what to say. And then I disappeared for like 30 minutes. Right. And when I came back, let's just say like, I didn't smell like the outside. It smelled like something else. And he looked at me and went, "Hey, where'd you do that?" I was like, "Let's go." And then we talked for like 19 hours after that. So, but yeah, it was a good time, man. He's a good dude, man. Really good guy. And I lost track of him because like we didn't have Facebook and stuff back then. And it was like 15 years later, and I sent him a random message, and I was like, "Hey, are you the same guy that wrote Once Upon a Time Machine?" He answered me back. He was like, "Yeah, I did." And I was like, "Do you remember meeting a guy on a train that you sent a book to, and you were coming from Florida to Washington, D.C. And then we partook?" He was like, "Yes." And I was like, "That was me." And he was like, "Holy shit." He's like, "I've thought about you so many times. I've told that story so many times. How random it was." He's like, "Because I was having a really bad train ride." Because he came from way southern Florida, and I was at the at the top of Florida by Daytona. So he had already been on the the train for like 10 hours. And he was like, it was not a good ride. And then when I got on, it was a lot of fun. So, but anyway, we'll have him on and we'll talk, and it'll be great. And yeah, but Warren, do you have anything coming up, sir?
Check me out on my YouTube channel tomorrow. I'll be doing a draw stream where I'm going to be starting a commission over here on my draw
Oh,
table.
nice. Commission.
So yeah, I got a nice commission that has kind of like it's going to be a Mount Rushmore of horror icons with a bunch of the smaller horror guys on the Absurd Sedation deck watching them. So you're going to get to see. I've got to draw like 8 characters, so it's going to be a big one for me to do.
Awesome.
But I start that tomorrow, and then I'm going to be doing some more draw streams. But I'm going to try to figure out a schedule.
Right.
I was doing gaming, but it's just I have a hard time getting into any gaming right now. None of the games really excite me. So maybe more of that down the line. But as of right now, I'm going to stick to drawing live streams and as well working on pre-recorded videos of stuff. Shorter, like 5-8 minute review kind of deals of different global comics and DC compacts, as well as some manga that I've been reading too. So all of that's coming up for 2026 down the line.
Yeah. Apparently, Orange has some phlegm coming up. So, you know, and that's very good. You have to get that out of there. And also Friday we have last panel. So
that's right. The Christmas one coming up.
Yeah, we have our top 10 Christmas movies, which is going to be interesting. I wonder if Gray's is going to be Jackie Brown Christmas special.
Very possible.
He's gonna
have any, aside from last panel, do you have anything coming up yourself?
No, I'm trying to focus solely on like tomorrow. Yes, I have. Thank God it's Tuesday. Me, Gray, and Charles Willis Greedia. We are going to be talking about the East Coast comedians New York versus Los Angeles versus Austin, Texas. We're going to be talking about that triangle of comedy. And then Friday we have last panel. So I'm trying to network like last panel and like get that out there. That along with Thank God It's Tuesday. I want those to succeed, and I want that to create, a little hub. Because I think what we have is with the panelists that we have, I think we got something going, and we're all like, pretty good friends, and we all don't agree on stuff. That's the best part.
Yeah.
You're not going to get like 14 people talking about misogyny and women bashing and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm doing MSK show and say I have no idea. It's what it is. I don't know. He could be going in a different direction, which is perfectly fine with me. I understand. I'm not the easiest person to, do shows with whenever I disagree with something.
Yeah.
Well, not an opinion, when I disagree with the entire premise.
Yeah, like the last panel, we have a lot of respectful disagreements where it's like, I see where you're coming from, and a lot of it's almost like more like different perspectives than disagreement, and we're very respectful of each other on it, and it comes out to be a real fun show, especially, you get to see some pretty interesting takes on stuff, and yeah, it's a fun one to be involved with, and I hope we can build it up to be more in the future.
Yeah, I think it will be. I think we'll get it going. But all right, everybody. I hope you have a great night. And yeah. Peace.
Peace.